this thing, and the graphic is, the graphic goes one step further, okay? A symbol is supposed to mean something. It stands for something. That right there means something. You know what I mean? Okay. Even, okay, I have an iPhone. The iPhone logo is what? An apple. When you look at that logo, though, you don't say, oh, that's a fruit that I should eat one today, blah, blah, blah. You automatically say, that's Apple. And not Apple the fruit company, right? Right. So there you go with, so when they made that, that is what makes it a graphic, or it's not only a symbol because it stands for a word, but it's a graphic because it has a purpose as well. So it having a purpose makes it a graphic. It having a meaning makes it a symbol. Okay? So here we have this graphic here. We know it's a graphic because they're trying to, really the purpose of this is to sell the shirt. Okay? And what I'm pretty much going to teach you right now, and then the next time I see you, we're going to actually print the shirt, is how to get from this being on a piece of paper or on your computer and putting it onto a shirt. Now, when you see this shirt, how many colors do you see?
3.
Okay. When you see that shirt, how many colors do you see? 2. Okay. And that one right there? Alright, now you can sit down. You sure? You want to stand up? It's good. Alright, cool. He wants to stand up. You better. So here we have 2 different shirts. I'm actually skipping a process. I've seen you somewhere before. Yeah. I mean, I live in the neighborhood, so maybe that's why I've totally seen you somewhere before. Maybe it's Key Food or something. I don't know. But the hair is like, you know, it's like hard to miss it. And when you first walked out, I was like, I've seen it before. But anyway, here we have a 2-color print, and here we have a 1-color print. Even though there's, how many colors you see here?
2.
Now you saw her face? Alright, now you have to sit. Now we're going to start. Alright?
The shirt, the base is black, but the screening color is black.
Right, so how many colors is there in the actual design?
1.
How many colors are in your design?
2. Because it's a heart and then
So we got red and black there?
Yeah.
There you go. And that's 1 color.
White.
Very good. So let's move from there. Okay, screen printing. I want to start off by like giving you guys a little background information on myself or whatever. Yeah, I told you about the autistic. I work for, that's what I went to school for. You know what I mean? God blessed me with something else or whatever. Like I'm really artistic. I can do just about anything artistically. I sculpt things. I paint things. I just sold a painting a couple days ago for like $300. I do graphic design. I do screen printing. I design clothing. I do a lot of stuff. I know you guys are here. You guys are like a part of this is like bringing art and making it a monetary thing, like being able to make money off of it, making it a fiscal thing and not just something that you're good at. You know, I am what you would call, or at least I call myself like an art hustler. You know, there's young dudes that dress just like me that sell drugs, and sell CDs and music and stuff like that. I sell art. Mass produce it, do it however I can. I take the things I can do, and I make money off of it, to be honest with you. When I was younger, about your age, or whatever, I wanted to go to school to just do art and stuff like that. My dad said, hey, can't make any money doing that. You better get a real job and not try to play around being an artist. You know, he was totally wrong. 10 years later, graphic designers are making $100. Okay. As a freelance graphic designer, I charge people $25 an hour, and that's freelance. There's no company backing or anything.
What does that mean? Like
freelance? That was a good question, young lady. Freelance is, and that could be anything. That could be you going out. Freelance means pretty much exactly the free part of it. Like or like a free. Have you ever heard of the term free agent? As far as like basketball or football or baseball goes, this player here is still part of the NBA or part of this industry or whatever, but at the time they don't have somebody backing them. There's nobody making them do anything, or pretty much very easily put I am my own boss when it comes to the art thing. You know, I go and find my own clients. I do my own marketing. I do all these different things. Huh? One more time, so. That noise behind you, that heat, I can't hear you over it.
An entrepreneur.
Okay.
Because you say you like your own boss.
Entrepreneur. Okay. Where are you from? I meant to ask you that the first time we were speaking because you had a little accent.
Here we go.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Entrepreneur. I like your, honestly, I like the way you pronunciate that word. Entrepreneur. Yes.
So you
Freelance. There you go. There you go. I work by myself for myself. That's what freelancing pretty much means. If you want me to give you the dictionary joint, give me a second. I have the app for it. But either way, that's pretty much what it means. So freelancing, blah blah blah. I do the art thing, blah blah blah. What I found in the last 3 years of my life was this fashion thing or whatever, and I started my own clothing line about 3 years ago. We made decent money off of it or whatever. I ended up hooking up with my buddy, whom you guys have probably met already, but I'm not gonna get too deep in that. And I'm actually doing like the art and the creative stuff for his clothing line or whatever. So pretty much, there's different levels of, let's say, a sweatshirt. That's why I introduced to you guys the first time. You have your shirt right here that's screen printing. You have his shirt that has the stitch work done to it. You have my shirt that just has a simple embroidery on it, and not the actual stitching of the letters on it. You know, so there's different levels of what you can do with clothing if you're into fashion and stuff like that. You know, this is the easiest, cheapest way to make money off of clothing, because anything else is a little bit more difficult. Obviously, I can buy ink, which that is on your shirt. It's just ink. I could buy ink at a lower cost than the fabric that it takes, or the stitch, or the thread that it takes to embroider and all that stuff right there. So, sorry to be making you want something? No. You wasn't going anywhere. But so whatever. So this is the cheapest, easiest way. If you look at, especially in New York City, what you'll notice is when you get a little older, if not now, is that a lot of people are doing their own clothing lines. I don't know if you heard of Slow Bucks, for instance. They killed off of one design last year. It was like 2-3 colors, or 2 summers ago. The snail and the money sign. I thought it was the corniest thing ever, but they sold probably like 10,000 t-shirts, which means they made money off of it. I thought it was the corniest. I thought it was the corniest design ever, personally, but they made money off of that. They bought it in bulk. When you do things in bulk, anything in bulk, it brings down the price. Okay, we're moving into different stuff, but just trying to give you like a general idea of you can really make money off this stuff. These Slow Bucks guys, they're buying t-shirts at maybe like $2 a piece because they're buying hundreds of them, $1 a piece. The person that has that made that shirt or any of the things you have on, they're buying their fabric, their t-shirts, everything very, very cheap. They're putting these things on there at a bulk order for very, very cheap, and then they're charging you $40, $50 off it just because of the name brand money. You know what I'm saying? This is something that you can do. You can build a brand and then throw anything on it. Let's say Polo, for instance. Ralph Lauren could make this shirt with nothing on it and just have this on it. This thing that, okay, how about this? What is Polo?
A sport. I guess it's that Chinese or brand.
It's a sport. Have you ever seen this sport played?
Yeah. I've seen it on TV.
Anybody else?
I've seen like
on
these
TV?
horses and
how? Okay. And when you see this horse, what's the first thing you think of? Polo what? The clothing? Ralph Lauren. Okay, boom. The first thing you think of is a sport? Okay, boom. How about you? Ralph Lauren? Or the sport? Ralph Lauren?
Yeah.
Now, going back to the simple thing that you were talking about earlier, which was a good, hey buddy, how you doing? What type of shirt do you have on? Screen printing. How many shirts are in this? How many colors are in this shirt?
3.
You see how quickly I made you a part of the class? There's more than 3 there.
Okay.
Like, come on, you can't sit down yet, bro. I had him standing up for like 15 minutes. He was standing up so long, he actually wanted to stand up. How many colors we got?
Pretty.
Red, black,
Like 5.
the color.
Team. White.
You got this color right here.
You gotta put that out.
Is this the same color as that right there?
Yeah, I guess like
And
that.
then that's a different grade too, right? Probably touching you. I know we just
Yeah, hold on,
had
give my good side.
your good side? Alright, turn all the way to the side then so they can just see the jacket.
Yeah, look at the jacket.
Alright, so how many colors we got there? We got red, we got black.
What's the scar?
You're doing the shirt, you use still with ink, but because it's such a big canvas that you're using, you have to do it a little differently. Also, being that you're putting into a porous meaning like a mesh, porous meaning having holes in it. I know you guys already knew that, but I don't want to be talking, you know what I'm saying? But because you're putting on something porous, whatever, porous, meaning like pores, meaning like holes. There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There you go. So, because you're using with that, you have to use a certain type of ink that's going to stay in and not necessarily do what his shirt did as much. You know what I mean?
So wash it so much?
It's because you wash it. In natural wear and tear, that'll happen to anything. Her shirt is going to break up eventually. It doesn't last forever.
What kind of shirt do I have?
Yeah, let's see what type of shirt you have.
It's plain.
Is it appropriate?
It's plain, it's white.
Okay, so you have no screen printing on Alice, so we're not gonna make her stand, guys. But okay, let's start. So what you would start with in the screen printing process is you would start with some type of want to make clothing or something like that. That could be as simple as right now I'm doing sweatshirts for the high school for learning and service, which is on the Erasmus Hall campus or whatever, one of the multiple schools on Erasmus. I'm doing their senior sweatshirts right now. You know, so I'll show you after the design.
There's a website like that. I saw on commercial that you could make your own T-shirts like at a factory from some far away in Canada or something like that. They'll send it to you.
And they'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Pretty much they do exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do, but they're just doing it automatically instead of by hand. You know, they're putting it in a machine and spitting them out. We're going to do them by hand, but we're going to do the actual
You're
dirty.
gonna sew
That's
it.
that whole
No, we're going to screen print. Not the first time we do it, you'll probably just be doing a screen that I bring in so you can try it out and blah blah. If we do a workshop after that, I would love for you guys to do your own designs and do your own screen and all that stuff. And you could go walk home with a shirt with your name on it, and that'd be real cute. Your friends will love it, and they'll be like, "Yo, I really learned something, and I get to wear what I learned." You know what I mean? I was so hyped about coming in here today. I've done after-school programs and taught financial literacy. I've taught people how to do tennis. I don't even like tennis. I just like watching Serena and Venus. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't like tennis. I do want to learn how to play after teaching it, though. But and like when I was able to teach this, I was like, yo, this is kind of crazy. But let's start. So boom. So you say, yo, I really want to make a shirt. I really want to make a shirt. I'm tired of people charging me $100 for a t-shirt, and all it's doing is something I can do myself. So you draw something, you put it on your computer. You don't even have to do that. Let's say we draw it directly on something. The first and most important thing in the screen printing process, after you have your design, you have your graphic. We have, can I get a sheet of paper, somebody? Anybody? Matter of fact, yeah, you're in charge of that. You came late. How dare you? This is my first time coming here, and the way you showed me.
It was raining, so
I appreciate you coming, to be honest with you. Mixture, you just buy this already mixed, called emulsion. You spread it over. I'm gonna show you all of this, so I'm just telling you it so you know that I know what I'm doing before we show you
We believe you.
the men doing it. I'm telling you the same exact thing. You have this mesh. You put the emulsion all the way across it, both sides. Now, what the emulsion does, it's like a two-purpose thing. So what it does is not only does it clog up the mesh, but it also has this, like I said, this light sensitive property to it which is going to help you to develop this image onto the actual screen. So now we have this mesh. Now we put on our layers of emulsion. The emulsion's usually either green or pink. Even though I've seen like a tan before, usually you see it in green or pink. We take this image and we print it with an inkjet printer onto a what we call a transparency, which is just clear paper. Clear paper. Now, when we put this image onto, sure, this thing has how many colors in it? You can answer my question down in US. How many colors? Okay, there you go. So, hey brother, how you doing? Anyway, so we're not gonna, when we put it onto the transparency, which is only gonna be black. So you won't have any of these colors in it, because the colors will come in the actual screening process. You're just trying to make an image on this screen right now. The colors, that's a couple steps down.
What about the size? Like, say like if you want to make the picture bigger.
Well, then, what you're going to be doing is, with the images, the way you're going to get it onto this inkjet anyway, is either you can draw it by hand, which is 2013, and I don't necessarily think that, you should draw it by hand. But what I would do, if I am drawing it by hand, is I would draw it by hand, I would scan it onto the computer, I would put it into a certain program or something, whether it be Paint or Adobe, Photoshop or Illustrator, and then I would take it from there and print it. Once you put it on the computer, you can make it any size you want. It's just what you preset your print to. The reason why I use inkjet instead of what's the other one called? Laser printers, is because the ink is going to be, a laser printer, it pretty much, it burns the image on there. So it's actually not fully black. It's kind of grayish almost. It looks black, but it's really like a gray. And you need black. The reason for that is when you put it, like I said, we're on our emulsion level of the screen right now, right? When you put the black on there and you add light or whatever, as you may have learned in one of your science classes, black absorbs the heat, whereas other colors don't, which is the reason why you have clear paper instead of like a translucent paper anyway, because you want the light to go around that and be absorbed by your image so it burns into the screen. And that's what it's going to do. It's going to burn into the emulsion, because the emulsion has this light sensitive property to it, just physics and chemistry and all that wrapped into one. And it burns the image on, and now you have your image, you have your screen. It takes maybe like 5 to 10 minutes to burn an image, which I'll show you guys as well real quickly. You have your screen. It burns off, you wash out the portion that was burned or whatever by the light, and then you have a screen. Now for this, it has how many colors in it again? You said 5? Right. So if it's 5 colors, we literally have to do 5 different screens. That's where it gets costly. Like to do your shirt, because it has 2 colors in it, would be more expensive to do homegirl right here shirt because it has 1 color in it. Because you have to pay per screen. Because this would take 5 screens to do. You can't do, okay, I have my 1 screen, and I'm gonna do red, and then I'm gonna do black, and then I'm gonna do green, and then I'm gonna do yellow. I'm gonna do 5 of the same exact screens if I don't use that amount of color. Now, let's say you want to do this as a business, you want to make shirts or something like that, right? You got to think about stuff like the amount of colors you're using or the amount of screens you're making, because that's going to be the most expensive part. You're going to have to pay a screen printer, if you're not doing it yourself, $30 to $50 per screen, per color. And that's before you get 1 shirt printed yet. You've already paid for those 5 screens. 5 screens at $30 is how much, my young brother? It's taking too long. How much is 5 screens at $30?
180.
That's wrong. 100. There you go. $150. So you've already spent $150 before buying the shirts or getting a screen. So, for instance, that's why I said it was very important that we look at their shirts and understand the amount of colors in it. Because if you're going to do it, if you're running your own business, or if you wanted to make the maximum amount of money off of something, you need to be cognitive or aware of how much money you're using, how much money you're spending before you get to the process of making a profit. Because this shirt and that shirt, this shirt is less expensive than that shirt to me. So naturally, you're going to charge more for that shirt than you do this shirt. So you can make a certain profit. Now, you don't want to put, let's say you're an upstart business, you don't want to put 8 colors into a shirt, which you're not sure if it's going to be successful or not. If I put this shirt out right now, who's to say that anybody's going to buy it? Now, I've put 5 colors, $150 plus all of the shirts I did into this one shirt, and it didn't pop. I lose. I lose a bunch of money, all that stuff. But now if I go with a one color design like that, I lose way less because I have spent less money. So now it's like you see t-shirts going on sale so quickly. There's a reason for that. They only spent like $3 on it, even if they charge you $30 for it. You know what I mean? It's taking them $3, $2 for your shirt, $1 to print it, because they're doing 100,000 of them at one time, and then they charge you $30 because there's Aeropostale or Polo or whatever it says on it. You know what I'm saying? Or it says another day, another heart, or whatever your thing says.